Hello everyone, it's Chris from C&L Farms, and I'm out on the farm this morning taking a look at the little small pond that we started to dig out here like 2 years ago. It holds water, but my buddy with his bobcat, he got stuck here a couple times with his bobcat, so it never really got finished. It does hold some water, but it's usually dry throughout the year. We've had probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 inches of rain in the last couple weeks, so it's real squishy out here. But just wanted to walk around the farm, walk out in the pasture here and let the dog run, because she hasn't been out here since we caught a raccoon in a trap, and then some local dogs actually killed it. So we had to get the dogs taken. They were taken and quarantined by the animal control, and the raccoon head was sent off to see if it had rabies, because we don't want our animals or anybody else's animals getting rabies and dying or killing other animals because of it. So we haven't heard back yet. I'm sure we'll hear something soon. But it's really wet out here. You can probably hear my feet squishing in the muck. But just wanted to give a little quick tour of what's going on. Not a whole lot going on other than the dog going crazy, as you can see. We have a lot of work to do. This little field here, this little section here is, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it, if I'm going to plow it up or if I'm going to just set it up as a no-till garden beds, some permanent garden beds. I haven't really decided yet. I had some cantaloupe and some different heirloom type melons in this area. They did really well. The cantaloupes did great. They were huge. I was not expecting that at all. But it was an heirloom variety. I can't remember the variety, but we still have a lot of work to do. Like I said, it's been raining for weeks, and we've only had a couple days in between the big rain showers, big rain events, to where we'd actually get outside and walk around. So I still have a lot of trees to plant. I've got landscape fabric to put down around these fig bushes. Oh, that dog is crazy. We've got landscape fabric just flying around everywhere. There's really nothing planted outside right now other than the garlic. As you can see, the garlic has come up beautifully, and I think we're going to have a pretty good stand of garlic this year. But we still have we have a lot of parsley growing in this bed, as you can see, but it just came up because it was dirt from a bed that was over in that area. This bed was actually moved over here, and then some of the dirt was tossed in here. So we've got a bunch of parsley coming up, but actually it might not be parsley. No, it's parsley. So the garlic, it's doing well. It may look like it's really packed in there, but I found last year that when I planted this garlic about a foot apart, I had about 400 plants that I put down, or seeds, garlic seed cloves, and out of that I only got, I think, 98 actual heads of garlic. So I got a third of what I planted, barely. So this year I pretty much kept everything that I had gotten, and I planted it here, and I planted it a little bit closer. So it looks like there's probably about 120 plants, I believe I had it set up, per bed, and these are 6 foot by 3 foot beds. So they're packed in there pretty good. But I think that they'll do fine, because it's a pretty deep bed. We're probably looking at maybe 10 inches of dirt in those beds. So This is a heirloom variety. It's called Caldwell Garlic. It's from a little town called Bowden, which is west of us. I also got a couple different varieties of garlic. These are the smaller ones here. These are just not the big elephant-sized garlic like the Caldwell garlic is. So we'll see how those do. They look like they've come up pretty well. I only bought a couple heads of each of those, and I think there were 3 different varieties. I've got it written down. But all of these beds are going to get a top off of some compost really soon. I'm going to set up a little hoop house over each one of these beds, or over all of these beds rather, with some plastic and some wire hoops that I have. I've got a lot more beds to build. I mean, as you can see, I need 8 more beds just for this second row, and I've reused a lot of the other beds that we've had throughout our time over the last 5 or 6 years, just cobbling these things together for different areas of where we've lived. But we're probably going to pull some of this fabric up where the beds are going to be over in that area where those posts are, and just set up a no-till setup, and we're just going to compost. We'll put compost down on each of the beds and plant into the compost and just keep it maintained and hope that we don't end up with a lot of weeds. As long as we don't turn the soil over, we shouldn't have that much of a weed problem. This is a pasture. It was a pasture when we don't use it as that now. It's just a big huge field for the dog and for the farm, but we definitely need to do something to keep the weeds down, and I think that the no-till practice is going to be our best option. We'll see. So yeah, in the hoop house where the hydroponic lettuce is growing, oh my goodness, we have quite a bit of new growth going on in here, as you can see. And I can't see because it's warm in here and my glass is fogged up. But this Swiss chard is just doing great. And the spinach is doing great too. I just planted these maybe a week ago. So they're, I think, 2.5 weeks old in this general area. We still have some spinach over here that I cut last week that is already coming back. I'm probably not going to cut it again. If I do, it'll be cut just for us. The kumquats are actually very delicious. As you can see, there's quite a few on here still. I've been pulling them off and eating them. They're really good. High source of vitamin C, and they're just delicious. You just take the whole, the whole thing. Let me find a ripe one. It's a little bit riper than the others. There, how about this one right down here? Yep. So you just pull that out, pop it in, get a burst of a little sour, a little sweet, definitely good flavor. The lettuce is doing really well. Let me chew this up. We've been harvesting on this about every week, and it's doing really well. This is a week since I harvested it, and it's already almost ready to harvest again, but I probably won't. I'm gonna let it grow another week. We're going to be actually cutting all of this probably next week and just replanting, putting in a new set. So this one I did not harvest last week, and as you can see, it's doing really well. Really big heads. I get about, I don't know, right now in the winter I'm getting about 15 pounds per stand, which is 150 plants roughly. But I should be getting closer to 20 to 25 pounds a week from each of these stands, and they'll be spaced roughly a week apart, because that's about all that I really sell at the farmer's market. I can sell more, but I don't want to go and come home with a bunch. We don't really do a lot of retail sales or wholesale or anything like that, we really just sell at the farmer's market. It's just something fun that we do. So if you look, this Salanova is doing wonderful. I absolutely love the Salanova. That green butter is beautiful. The crisp. There's a red butter. There's an oak leaf. There's a red oak leaf right back there. There's a red butter. And we've got the summer crisp, I think it's called. And then there's some other magenta, Cherokee, mirror. I think this is a mirror right here. So I mean that's a pretty big size head of lettuce so far. I mean they're just small heads, but like I said, it doesn't grow that much. And then we've planted out the rest of the troughs that are in here. So those were just planted 2 days ago, and they grew in our little incubation area for probably 2 weeks. So another 3 weeks, those should be looking like this. And this whole greenhouse should be full by the time our market starts for the summer season, which is the first week of April. So we're a year-round market, and we have a number of vendors that come year-round. So let's jump out and go real quick into the microgreen room. There's the dog. I wonder where she was. Step in here first real quick. I haven't harvested yet, but I will be harvesting the microgreens. This is broccoli, and then there's a salad mix. These are all salad mixes. And then over here we've got some more salad mix and our seedlings that are just starting out. Radish, some more broccoli right there. We got some Chinese cabbage. It's looking really good. We've got some peppers. Never really do well with the peppers. They just don't want to germinate, and they're on a heat map, so I'm not quite sure why they won't germinate. They were covered with a dome, but I took the dome off because it was getting really hot in there, so I didn't want it to affect them. But they just don't really grow that fast. There's some more right over here. I'm getting ready to harvest. So that was it. I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at the farm and see what's going on. We haven't really done a whole lot out here, so there's still a lot of cleanup to do. It looks awful, but we'll get to it. We'll get it eventually. So if you like the video, like, subscribe, share the videos, tell your friends. We really appreciate all of the new subs that we've gotten. I mean, it's not a huge channel, and I don't do a lot of videos right now that show you how to do anything. So it's really just seeing what's going on the farm, and just following along with us. So like I said, hit that bell so you get notified of these uploads, and we'll see you next time. Take care.